Okay.
Hi, and welcome to our broadcast today. This is Insight Interview, and today we're really excited to have you with us. We are going to be talking about health through hydration, and on this Insight Interview today, you are with myself, Tracy Lynn Cox, the host, and Ramona Cagle, our guest, who is going to be speaking on our topic. And this program is brought to you through vibrational change from victim to victor. So I would like to talk a little bit about our guest, Ramona Cagle. She has been a friend of mine for the past several years. When I met her, when she was at an exhibit at an expo right next to me. And she had all of this water that she was displaying, and she talked about the different quality of the water. And I was so engaged with what she was talking about that I thought, this is very interesting. And I was really sold on the concept. However, it did take me some time to move forward with it. But in the meantime, throughout the past few years, I maintained a relationship with Ramona. And now here we are. So at that point, I would like Ramona to take the stage and introduce herself and tell her story about how she got into every drop of water changes the world. Go ahead, Ramona.
Good morning. Thank you so much for having me, Tracy. It's an honor to be partnered with you and sharing on true hydration, and perhaps this may be a missing link in your health. For me, it was in January of 2011. My friend said, "Hey, try my water." And I was like, "Water, really? What's water going to do for me?" She said, "I don't know, but it's free to try." Well, I'm not silly, so I tried her water and I was totally amazed and just became interested and engaged, like you said, as well, and started learning that all water is not the same, and that pH and hydrogen produced through this magic Kangen water device could perhaps be a missing link in my health care. Not curing, treating, or diagnosing, I must say that, but I started the water and soon realized that it was important and it was definitely different. 6 how important it is. Nutrition, exercise, all those things are good, but water is the most important ingredient. We're made of water. And so I got involved in Enagic, and the rest is history. We're changing lives one drop at a time, and enjoying it.
That's really
And
awesome.
changing their water could change their life.
Yeah, changing water does change your life. And I am excited that today we are talking about our health through hydration, and it really does make a difference. And I've always been a big proponent of being hydrated. And what I didn't realize is that not all bottled water is the same. In fact, I've done several videos about being hydrated and also about bottled water. And what I realize now is what Ramona is talking about here is next. She's going to be talking about direct antioxidant hydration using alkalized hydrogenated water. So, Ramona, speak to us about that.
Okay, through Enagic out of Okinawa, Japan, they create 7 different devices that restructures water, and it restructures it through electricity, through electrolysis, and allows for the pH to be altered, creating alkaline water that's through electrolysis alkalized, and has the ability to create hydrogen that can get into the trillion cells in our body and help flush out toxins. Um, and a miracle, absolutely, absolutely, a miracle how that is done. And as you said, a bottled water, it's very acidic. And where is the bottled water coming from? It's coming from most modern municipality waters. And most often it's reverse osmosis, which means they're taking alcohol. It allows the source water to come through, go through a charcoal filter and clean it up, and then reprocess it and shoot it out for us at an incredible speed. And yeah, changes the pH, changes the molecular structure of it, creates a direct antioxidant. We could not eat enough blueberries, strawberries, things made from God that could help remove toxins from our body, like water is. Yeah.
Yeah, what I would like to say about this water, since I've been drinking it, and at the very first 2 nights after I had been drinking it during the day, just my normal amount of consumption of water, when I focused on drinking the hydrogenated water from the Enagic machine, I slept so hard for such a long night, for 2 nights in a row, like none other. And I knew that my body was detoxing. I could just tell. And it was just so wonderful. It was really, it was magical. And like I said, I stay hydrated and I drink what I thought was good water, etc. But I can tell you that after watching the demonstrations that we already have televised with Ramona, the hydrogenated water is just something that we really do need and really is so much better for our bodies.
Yes, removing the chlorine, getting that chlorine out of the water, and a lot of pharmaceutical drugs are found in our municipality water because there's so many people on prescription drugs. And I had amazing testimony one after the other, the brain fog, the ability to think, also ability to sleep better, just overall wellness through proper hydration. Not claiming the water cures, treats, or diagnoses, but it is different and can clean up our body. Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, it is really great. Now, there also, I talked a little bit about the bottled water that I live on a lake, and of course, we don't want to take glasses down to the lake, and so we do use bottled water down there. And I really am opposed to drinking bottled water because if you watch any of the film and documentaries, all that plastic is so harmful to leaving that environmental footprint that it does. So talk just a little bit about how Enagic and this machine and the production of this water, what kind of environmental footprint is it leaving?
Excellent. That's a great point, Tracy. 17 billion barrels of oil used to make plastic bottles.
Oh my gosh.
How much oil does it take to distribute those bottles? And where are those bottles sitting? In a warehouse, getting hot, getting cold. We're taking that on. We're taking on the chemicals in the plastic, not good for us. So through Enagic, several of their devices, we are able, with a salt solution, to create levels of water. One, a strong acidic water that can kill MRSA, staph, E. coli, reduce bacteria, clean, sanitize, amazing. The opposite is the strong alkaline 11.5 water, which is a degreaser, replaces laundry soap, floor cleaners, scrub and bubbles, bleach, let's see, any chemicals, any toxic chemicals. The only thing I use in my home is Dawn soap for my dishes, a little Cascade in my dishwasher. Otherwise, all my home, my boat, my car, my husband's truck, every place in our home is used with a saltwater solution, cleaning, sanitizing, and degreasing. How much money do we save? Oh my goodness. We save a ton of money, plus the environmental footprint, not putting aerosol cans into the environment, plastic water bottles, and laundry soap bottles, boxes, fabric softeners, all those things that have toxic chemicals in them. Now I can't hardly even go into a store down the cleaning aisle because I realized that those toxic chemicals created other issues in my body. Allergies, sneezing, coughing, watery eyes,
Right.
all kinds of things. So, yeah, the environmental footprint is huge. And if each of us could just change that, we could be good stewards of the land and reduce the landfill and
Yeah. I'm glad you brought
reduce
that
the
up.
amount of oil. Yeah,
Mhm.
reduce the
Be-
amount of oil that's being used.
Yeah. I when the plumber came and put the faucet in my home to hook up my machine, I cleared out under the sink and
I
took the
remember.
box and put all the stuff in this huge box. And I said, I refuse to put it back under my sink. And it was amazing how many chemicals were under my sink. And I thought, I don't need these anymore. I can do
Right.
without it because I have this fabulous machine that goes from 2.5 up to, you said 11?
11.5,
Yes. I
opposite
mean,
a
it's
degreaser.
amazing what it can do. And
Mhm.
I thought, this is fabulous. I I am doing something not only for myself, but also for the environment. And I know that when I go down the aisle in the store where all the cleaning products are, I always sneeze. Or
Yes.
after I'm done cleaning, whatever that products are that I'm using, it also causes watery eyes and tearfulness and sneezing for me. So I know that the chemicals are really bad. And I just want to back up for just a minute about the chlorine in the water. Now that I'm drinking chlorine-free water, I really notice that the taste of the water is so much better. I lived in the swimming pool for years and years and years as a swimmer, and the smell of chlorine just is so wrenching to me. And now that I have the chlorine-free water, I can drink it and it tastes wonderful, just wonderful.
Yes, absolutely. It is a game changer. It's hard for me to go somewhere and bathe in the municipality water. I have a Nespa, and it is for the shower unit, and it removes the chlorine. And once you've had the experience of bathing in a chlorine-free shower, it too gets you excited, and you realize how detrimental chlorine is to our body and how quickly we absorb it. And anyway, that's exciting and good point. I'm glad that you're seeing a difference, Tracy.
Yeah, that's great. Now, we talked a little bit about under my kitchen sink and taking all those chemicals and putting them in a box so that we could install the faucet. And I just want to say that tell me and share with me and our audience a little bit about how do I clean and there are to it than just cleaning. I think that also there's an application that I've been using with my vegetables.
Yes, absolutely. So, kitchen application, we're going to speak on our food. How are our vegetables? Most of us bring them home, we wash them in tap water. Guess what? We got chlorine in our tap water, so now we're just pouring that chlorine on our food. So, if you can take the high 11.5 alkaline degreasing water, wash your fruits and vegetables, get the pesticides, herbicides, again, toxic poisons off of our food, and they're oil based and they are alive next week. If they were to last that long in the refrigerator, we're not throwing away food. That's amazing. Plus the taste is definitely there. You can eat one cleaned with tap water, eat a tomato, for instance, in cleaned in the 11.5, and there's a dramatic taste difference. We enjoy watching people's mouth pucker as they experience that. We're talking about meat, chicken, fish, using that 2.5 strong acidic water. We can kill bacteria. So if you take your meats and fruits and vegetables and it's 30 seconds in contact, we're killing MRSA, staph, E. coli. That's huge. We see lots of recalled fruits and vegetables coming in the spring and the summer time that are defecated. And you can have the ability to clean that off and feel confident in eating it. But now we're talking about soups, roast, beans, rice. When you start using this device and really using the water off of it to cook with, incredible, delicious, less seasoning is needed because now you're able to bring out the flavor of whatever it is that you are preparing. The 11.5 acts as a meat tenderizer. So I just encourage people, fix a steak like you normally would, but fix the other steak using the 11.5 and the 2.5 waters and just see what happens. Try your beans, try your roast, try your soup. Soups are absolutely delicious. And for many of us who like to juice, when you get the pesticides and herbicides off of those items and you're juicing them, now you're really getting in nutrition without any toxic chemicals. I am sold. I love it. I'm a water snob. It's almost hard to eat out in a restaurant because you're thinking, how did they clean it? How did they prepare it? I bet they don't know what I know. And yeah, it's an amazing way to kill bacteria on your cutting boards and your countertops with the 2.5. So incredible in cooking, cleaning. Yeah.
Well, I am looking forward to cleaning my salmon tonight before I cook it and seeing the difference in the taste. And I have noticed that since cleaning with my new water, that my vegetables taste so much better. My salads taste so much better. And I just yesterday or early today, I posted an article on the Facebook page about bees and how they're dying off because they are consuming the chemicals and the pesticides. And actually, it's all foods that we are then eating and consuming. And I encourage people to read that article and then come and watch our program today because we're consuming that. And we do need to wash our foods before we eat them.
Yes. In a lot of European countries, and many countries throughout the world, the pesticides and herbicides that are used in the U.S. are not allowed in those countries. They understand the bees are important to the generation of our food. And so, yes, that's a great point, Tracy. Great.
Yeah. Do you have other tips for whole home application of an Enagic water?
Yes, that's what's exciting. Cleaning my whole home. Okay, for instance, no laundry soap. How much money does that save a consumer? But not to mention that, the environmental footprint again. What are we putting back in the landfill? Cardboard box? A plastic bottle? Remember all the trillions of gallons of oil used to produce that plastic? Laundry soap, let's see, toxic scrubbing bubbles, 409s, Windex, beauty water that comes off of this device. Amazing for our skin, amazing Windex cleaner, eyeglass cleaner, hydration for our skin, carpet cleaner. You put that 11.5 strong alkaline water in a clean your carpet, you will be amazed. But what is totally incredible, I could put a brand new born baby down on that carpet and I wouldn't be worried that they would be in contact with something that would hurt them. A puppy, a kitten, an animal, something you cherish and you love could lay on that floor and not be worried about what kind of toxins they're picking up. Daycares could use this in a whole home app, in a whole daycare application, spraying their toys in the cribs and so forth with the 2.5 strong acidic water and feeling good and not soaking them in bleach and then the poor babies putting that in their mouth and absorbing bleach. Again, chlorine, so yes, environmental footprint, whole home application works fabulous on your furniture, your car. My husband was impressed when I cleaned his truck. You know how men, they prize their trucks, and he's down there scrubbing with all these toxic chemicals. And I said, well, if you would just use beauty water and 11.5, you'll be amazed. And he says, well, prove it to me. So a good way for him to get a free cleaning. And then he got on board. He was like, wow, and you did that in less time than I'd already spent trying to clean it. Most recently, just got back from a trip down to Atlanta, and my car was covered in bug grease. And as we stopped at a rest area, I sprayed it down with 11.5, and it began to rain. It was just perfect timing. And the next stop, I said, see what happened? Those bug juices are all gone. Didn't have to
That,
use anything toxic. Amazing.
that
New
is great.
uses every day, even 6 years later. I'm still finding new ways to clean and sanitize my home.
Oh, that's cool. That's good. The next topic that we have the focus on is the weather is changing. I know it's the rainy season right now because you just mentioned it. However, the heat is going to be upon us very soon, probably less than a few weeks away, and people get dehydrated. And
Yes.
not just because of the heat, but we also have a huge population of elderly people that don't consume enough water. In fact, just not the elderly, it's people in our age group. I mean, a lot of people just do not consume water. So talk to us about the universal killer.
Thank you, Tracy. Yes, like myself, I was dehydrated. I did really not drink enough water. And if I did, I drank bottled water. We've already discussed the detrimental effects of that. But estimated 90% of Americans are mildly or chronically dehydrated.
Wow.
We see that in signs and symptoms of dehydration, increased thirst, dry mouth, swollen tongue, weakness, confusion, sluggishness, bowels that don't work right, fainting, decreased urine and output. A lot of people's urine smells really bad. It looks bad. I served in hospice for over 20 years, and believe me, I've seen enough body fluids to say, hey, I understand hydration and dehydration now. So a half ounce of body weight per ounce of water is recommended. How much water do most people drink? For me, I used to drink soda pop, thinking, well, it had water in it, But anytime you take water and you put something else in it, it's no longer water. It's whatever you've added to it. Now I'm totally on to the water. Do we want to look like a plum or do we want to look like a prune? Do we want to be a grape or do we want to be a raisin? Water is critical. We are 90% water. My brain was in a fog before Kangen water. And after Kangen water, it was incredible in just a few short days how much clearer I could think, how I could multitask, just being able to have positive thoughts. My husband said I went from being, negative Natalie to incredible energy and just aware and staying up longer and incredible how many people are dehydrated. And we see that when we go to the ER. They usually start looking for prevent. What if you could just take a glass of water and start hydrating on a different level? Amazing. And just invite people to get with you, check it out, and take a test. See if it's different for them.
Yeah. This whole topic about health through hydration is just so timely in today's life. And as Ramona has said, that 90% of our body is water, and there are several different ways to spice up your water to make it taste really good and healthfully do it. I'm not saying to drink it as tea. I'm saying that you can drink it as water, and you can and make it taste good. And that's another whole video, another whole segment. And we did cover that with our holistic health person. And this is specifically about being hydrated with good water. And here is Ramona's email if you want to talk with her. She is crazymo with H2O at gmail.com. Crazymo with H2O at gmail.com. And if you'd like to get in touch with me, you know where to reach me. It's Tracy at tracylyncox.com. I'm happy that you joined us today for this Insight interview. This has been really helpful for me. I've learned so much for me and for my household and for my family. And I hope that you have learned a lot too. This has been Vibrational Change from Victim to Victor, and we each want to be a victor in our lives. So I encourage you to check in each week for Insight Interview. Thank you for being with us today. And Ramona, a special thanks to you for being here and sharing your wisdom about water. Thank you.
Thank you, Tracy. Thank you. It's been an honor.